Lesson 5.2 in the beautiful land of pre-algebra. And today on page 225 we are learning how to add and subtract like fractions. Like fractions mean they have a common denominator. Okay? They have a common denominator. Now clearly when they do not have a common denominator, there's a different technique that we have to do, but we're going to just talk about the 5th grade version, which is with the same denominator. Okay, so astronomy. One night 77 hundredths of the moon's surface was illuminated. The next night an additional 9 hundredths was illuminated. What fraction of the moon's visible surface was illuminated on the second night? This is a question where we are going to add those two fractions together. So day 1 added to day 2. And at the end of this adventure, 86% of the surface was illuminated. 86% of what we normally can see was illuminated. Now they don't say write it in percent, write it in decimal. They're asking us what fraction. So I am going to take this and I am going to reduce it. Reduce it by, looks like a factor of 2. 43 50ths is the answer. When they say simplify, that means reduce. All right? Simplify means reduce. Now, in the middle of our book, they show us that when you are adding, you simply combine the numerator. When you are subtracting, you subtract the numerator. Okay? Also, in that algebra section below, they say C cannot be equal to 0. What they are saying is you can never have 0 as a denominator. Because if you have something, whatever it is, you cannot divide it into 0 groups. That would require a magician. Okay? We don't make things disappear. So if you have 0 in your denominator, there's something wrong. Let's turn the page. Go to page 226 with me. Okay? Moving on to example 2, subtract -4 minus 2/7. I don't know if you recall me explaining it this way, but when I think about subtraction, I think about it as adding the opposite. Okay? So instead of removing a -2 from the 4, or a 2 from the 4, I'm going to combine a 4 and a -2, which gives you a -6/7. Okay? -6. That can't be reduced either. The next one is 1/10 minus a -3/10. This is where my add the opposite scenario comes in handy. Add the opposite. So now I have a 1/10 being combined with a 3/10, and I get 4/10. Simplified, of course, it's 2/5. Okay? 2/5. How you guys feeling about this? Not too shabby, right? Mixed numbers. There's a couple of different ways to do it. This book teaches that the easiest way to add mixed numbers is to convert them to improper, add the numerators, and then convert them back. I really don't care how you do it, but I think that method is really, really helpful and keeps you from making mistakes. So I'm going to show it to you that way. 5 and 5/9 added to 2 and 7/9. Okay. Do you guys remember how to convert these into improper fractions? So 9 times 5, which is 45. So 50 over 9 added to 9 times 2, which is 18, 25. Okay, so now 50 ninths plus 25 ninths gives us 75 ninths. 9 goes into that, what, 8 times? 8 and 3 ninths, right? 8 and 1/3. If you do not give me that reduced answer, I have to mark it wrong. Don't have a choice, folks. Gotta reduce it, gotta simplify it. All right, B, -10 and 6/13 minus 6 and 8/13. Now we're subtracting, but I go back to add the opposite. So now I am combining two negatives, which are going to result in a negative answer. 136 over 16, over 13 for the first one. -78, wait, 78, 79, 81, 2, 3, 4, 5, 86? Check my math calculators. -86?
86.
Good deal. Okay, we are combining. So now give me the sum of 136 and 86. 222. Okay? So now I'm still in the land of negatives. So 222 divided by 13 is going to give us 17 and blah, 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 blah. So 17 and what? Okay? To find out how many 13s are left, multiply 17 by 13, because your calculator is going to give you this big honking decimal. And that's not what we want. We want the fraction. All right? So 17 times 13 is, let's try clearing it first, 221. So that means 1/13 is left. Okay? That's how you have to do these big numbers. You've got to figure it out. If you use your calculator, that'll give you this, but then you've got to figure out what that's going to be. Okay? Multiply this by this and subtract it from that. That will give you your numerator. Okay? Most of these you'll be able to do in your head. Okay? How you guys feeling about this so far? This is really, really old stuff. I know most of you are bored to tears. Example 4. (3a over 20) added to 5a over 20 equals 8a over 20. So far, so good? 8a over 20. Now, we've got to reduce the numbers. 8 and 20 both share a greatest common factor of 4. 2 is a good start, but 4 is better. So this becomes 2. The a sits there and waits. This becomes a 5. If you do not reduce, you will not have the right answer. Okay, this is not good enough. Letter B. -8 over 3b minus -2 over 3b. Okay, add the opposite. And I know I'm going to have some sort of a 3b because the denominator doesn't change, but a -8 combined with a +2 is what, people? -6. All right, -6. Super. What are both of these reducible by?
3.
3 is right. What's -6 divided by 3? So I've got negative 2 here. What's 3 divided by 3? So now I have negative 2 over 1b, but you don't have to write that one, okay? You don't necessarily have to write it, okay? There's your answer. Okay, short lesson today. This is old stuff. I will be uploading this right away.